this piece of property we're standing on was a salvage unit with about 20 acres, high access public use road, basically for hiking trails and mountain biking, things like that. The challenges with this one was there was a lot of beetle kill.
In Southwest Oregon, we have an issue with drought, heat, and it's also very related to tree density.
Given the drought years we've had in Southern Oregon, a lot of the trees were dead.
So we had 110-year-old trees that were 6-8 inches in diameter, and they were struggling.
The whole goal was to harvest the dead and dying, leave the healthy, high-vigor trees. By removing the dead and dying trees and the high stocking on the side, you reduce the competition, you prevent the spread of bugs. You're opening up the crown spacing, you're letting light get on the forest floor. Individual trees can consume more water, take it up, and just basically you're increasing tree vigor. Oh, the financial risk aspect for Dawn was, you're doing a salvage, you're not getting the cream of the crop, but you're also, in turn, making a healthy stand when you leave. The landowner didn't really have any experience with the realm of logging or any fuels reduction. It was a definite reliance on having a good operator to coach him through, show him what's what.
I love to meet a small landowner that's willing to trust me so that we can nurture their stand into a healthy, fire-resilient state that's picking up growth.
He shows up, offers kind, sincere advice. He's never going to turn away a neighbor. The institutional knowledge of that area, of that field type, of the historical practices, because he's been there, he's seen all that.
High-class guy, just a solid operator.
We are a small company. We work with other contractors like Gordon Westergaard and G&S Logging. We share people and equipment and just put jobs together and make it work. It's a team effort, and that's really the key behind everything I do. It's the guys that are on the ground and their experience and their input every day and everything we do. It's pretty cool. When
it comes to the landscape and the Forest Practices Act, Don is always by the book and uses best management practices. He's really good at getting us out there for pre-operation inspections. And there's never anything that's out of compliance. He's got the highest standard for how things should look. It's going to be by the book and above. And like even on this project, he wanted to have me out here and make sure all the water bars were looking good, right spacing. Anytime we get a notification with Don's name on it, it's like, oh, thank God,
Usually I look at a forest and can pretty much tell what it needs.
So that's really his biggest contribution is just his knowledge, his care, his tact. He can speak to landowners and have them understand somewhat complex forestry concepts.
I understand my world pretty well, and I'm passionate about it, so I love to share if people will listen.
Ashland's not used to seeing logging so close to town, and being that this is a high-use road system and a trail system, there was a lot of frequent questions from passerbys.
So we work with people. We put signs on every trail. We put ribbons across the trails, and they posted it online. So it went pretty well.
This is actually my first ride through here since the logging, but I was impressed with how much work had been done and how much brush had been cleared out. Because here in the Rogue Valley, we think about fire a lot. It's remarkable how much fuel has been thinned out here. It looks great.
Don's the kind of guy that would be happy to shut his machine down and tell people what he's doing and why he's doing it. And I think it was a good educational learning experience. He even went to the extent of having a field day for anybody that wanted to come out and look at it, and walked them around, showed them what was what.
We've gone so many years just letting this fuel develop, and we're beginning to understand how that's a huge issue. And so I'm incredibly grateful to the people out here that are doing the work, and these kind of projects are absolutely necessary, and it makes for a much healthier forest.
By having such an open canopy with very minimal ladder fuels, it helps firefighters on the ground as a safety aspect.
You do the work, nothing happens. 10 years later, you have a fire and you go, oh my gosh, it's a good thing we did that work.